Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus, and welcome to another live stream Saturday. I hope you guys had a great week and that your weekend has started well as well. Thank you everybody for joining me in the live chat room before this even started about 30 minutes, 40 minutes ago. Some of you guys were in there, and let's get you guys up on screen. And while I was getting this stream ready, I started moving things around, which was definitely a bad move, but hopefully this is all gonna work, fingers crossed. So let me have a little look down. Move that out of the way. I'm very well prepared tonight, as you can tell. I always think I've forgotten something, and generally I always have, but let's have a little look down the list. We have Alexi in the house, and Jennifer as well, and Teresa, and also Jennifer again. Maybe this isn't the screen that's going to be refreshing, so it looks like that screen's just going to stop. I'm going to look over here because I can grab your names from here. We've got Luan and Jeff, and Karen in the house as well. Kevin, Susan and Dennis are in there. KADJ and Paul, Jeannie, and Susan and Dennis again. Hello, the crazy Hoovian as well. And we've just had a bit of action in the super chat as well. And just to bring your attention to the bottom of the screen, because these are my patrons whose names always go across the bottom of the screen during the live streams, because they make every single live stream possible, and not only that, but every video on this whole channel possible. So thank you guys so much for all of your support. You know who you are. And without further ado, let's get the super chat window up on screen, because we had a very early donation from Deborah. And this was at 11:37, so 23 minutes before the live stream was even live. So thank you for that, Deborah. And it was a donation of $5 for pizza. That was the message. So thank you for that. And I did have pizza last night, so that can go to the next one. I've got to start trying to cut back on pizza, I think, because I'm just encouraged too much by you guys to eat lots of pizza, but I have to stop eating so much pizza. Thank you, Deborah, for that. Gary has donated $10 as well. Thank you for that, Gary, and it's a straight up donation without a message. And Mary has donated $10 as well. Thank you for that, Mary. The message is, "Hi Phil, so can you tell us why in Stevie Ray Vaughan's Little Wing clip, Stevie seems to wake up and smiles at Tommy Shannon as though something went wrong? Was there a musical reason for that?" And I'm going to have to watch the video again in order to see exactly which part you're talking about. If I don't address it in the video when I'm watching it, then it might have been something that I brought up but then edited it out, so I can have a look at that at a later date and then let you know the answer to that. But generally, when you are playing live and something does happen, you do sometimes look at each other, give a little smile or a wink. It's usually a little mistake or something that shouldn't have happened, but people generally don't notice those kind of things. It's only in the band that you do. But anyway, Mary, thank you for that. And Carl has donated $5 as well, and we all know what this is for. The message is, "Cross the pond, health, safety and happiness to all." So thank you for that, Carl. And I think at some point I'm going to have to try and refresh the screen in front of me so that I can see what's going on. Before I forget, last week I meant to put Terry's picture up on screen, and Terry uploaded her picture to Patreon. In fact, it wasn't really an upload, it's just her image for her profile on Patreon, because she became a patron in February. So that is the screen that I'm going to try and jump to. And this is why I think everything's a little bit dodgy at the moment, is because I'm trying to get a capture or a screen grab of the Patreon page, and I'm really zoomed in to the Patreon page. So this is Terry's picture, her mugshot of her Spike the Likes mug, and hopefully, fingers crossed, the screen capture's gonna work and you should see it. So there we go, it worked. So there is Terry with her Spike the Likes mug. Thank you for using that as your profile picture on Patreon, Terry, and apologies that I missed that out at the last live stream. but I think the problem was that I couldn't grab the picture and save it as a JPEG, so that's why I've now zoomed into that picture so at least everybody can see that at home. So thank you for that. By the way, let's get a plug of the mug in there. So here is the Spike the Likes mug. If you want to get your hands on one yourself, it's going to be in the tray underneath this video. And also everybody over on the Wings of Pegasus supporters page, thank you for uploading your pictures of your mugs. And quickly on that, the name of the group is still something that was left by the hacker. Unfortunately, it's going to take maybe a week or a few more weeks in order for that name to change. But Vince has asked me to remind you guys that if you do rejoin the group, even with the dodgy group name, nobody can see the group name and it's private to you. So if you want to join up with the group again, you can do. I know that not everybody's gone back in there. I think it's maybe about a quarter or just over a quarter of the original members have signed back in or joined back into that group. And it's something that Vince certainly wanted you to know, that it is private and nobody will see that you're part of the group with the dodgy name. And hopefully, fingers crossed, it will return to normal as soon as possible. So we are going to jump into the first video of the night, and this was requested by Vince over on Patreon. Thank you guys for answering the request for requests over there. So I've got some videos to play. I will be in the live chat room while this video is playing, so I'll see you guys in there, and I'll see you guys after this. It's going to be my lyric video for Art Not Commerce and the one where I just go for a massive walk. So thank you, Vince, for requesting this, and I'll see you guys after. Rock!
Pay
And there we have it. That was my song called Art Not Commerce. I hope you enjoyed that one. It is available over at wingsofpegasus.com/store. If you want to get your hands on that song or the whole album called Persistence, my album, also on iTunes and Amazon. So let's get the super chat window up on screen because there has been a little bit of extra action going on over there, and I might try and readjust the screen because it's gone a little bit funny on that screen now, which is great, but now the one in front of me is working. So how do you figure that? Let's see what happens. We have Michael in there who has donated $10. Thank you so much for that, Michael. And Linda has donated $5. So thank you for that, Linda. And the message is, there's always something you do or say that continues to amaze me. How did you first hear of Inhalare la Voce, and how did you learn the technique? And with this, because I've learned to sing from scratch pretty much, I've watched loads of instructional videos and bought loads of singing courses, so I've got quite a lot of background information and I guess knowledge about singing because I've been through the whole process effectively to end up singing from not being able to sing. So that was just one of those techniques that I just happened to, I think, see on YouTube first, or at least I saw the description on YouTube and then I looked into it, found out what it was, but I realized that I could already do it. And this is sometimes what you find, that some techniques you just can't do at all and you can't get your head around how to get your vocal cords to do it. But I then realized what I had been doing pretty much the whole time as a bit of a joke with my bandmates was that technique, or at least that's what it was called. And just making the vocal cords come together while breathing in is just something that I could instantly do. And I think some people don't know how to do it, and I wouldn't know how to explain how to do it because it's just something that I can do. And that sometimes is the case with lip rolls as well, where you go and you make a noise, you engage your vocal cords so that you're making a note as if I'm now going ah, but then you roll your lips at the same time, which is an exercise that I'm sure all of you guys out there have seen. And if you haven't, I assure you that pretty much every vocalist ever does lip rolls as not only a warm-up but an exercise as well. So that is something else that sometimes people struggle to do, but I've never had a problem doing lip rolls. It's something that I think if you think about being cold, it probably helps, because it's certainly something that I've done before when I have been cold. Maybe it's something that we do here in the UK. Because it is cold in the winter, we are maybe just good at doing it. But that technique specifically in Inhalare la Voce is something that I could already do, and then I just realized afterwards what it was called, but I never used it for singing. And then I realized that actually I could use this for singing if it was just a case of hitting a higher note that wasn't necessarily a long phrase or had lots of words involved. I knew that I could now hit a note without any strain or stress on my vocal cords, because breathing in is a lot easier for me in order to make the notes a lot cleaner and clearer without any strain. Because when I then breathe out and sing and try and get up into the chest voice, that's generally, I mean, across the whole population, is where you'll start to strain and push your voice because you're pushing to try and get the notes, whereas breathing in has that opposite effect. And if anything, it's also a positive mental effect of breathing in. You're not really aware of trying to reach for anything. So yeah, it is a good technique to even find the notes to begin with. But in terms of telling people how to do it, I think it's going to be different for everybody, just mentally to try and break it down and get your vocal cords to come together while you breathe in. But that's probably a whole series of videos that I'm sure voice coaches, and we all know what's happened there. My brain's taken a little bit of coaches and put it in voice. Anyway, voice coaches, I'm sure, have done a whole series on the technique and teach people how to do it. Anyway, I'm not going to get into all of that in this live stream, but thank you Linda for that donation. We've also had a donation from TeacherMan1955 who has donated $5. Thank you for that. The message is, "Hi Phil, I've been wondering, who is Percy Johnson? Is he someone you know / new, someone famous? Keep on rocking," with lots of rock horns and some guitars in there as well. So thank you for that, TeacherMan1955. And it's totally fictional, just something that I made up, and Percy Johnson just seemed to be a good name at the time. And then I was made aware of later on Percy Jackson, which is now, thanks to these live streams, I know was a book and then made into a movie. So it was a book first. So it was nothing to do with Percy Jackson. Percy Johnson was just a name that I thought of many years ago, and I thought it's the kind of name that maybe might have been taken advantage of, because that's what the whole song is about, and maybe Percy strikes me as someone who's just a really nice guy. It just sounds like a really nice name. So it was something that I just came up with. But thank you for that, TeacherMan1955. And Amy has donated $4.99. Thank you for that. The message is, "Good evening. Good to be here with you all," with some rock horns. So hello Amy and everybody in the live chat room. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Also, if you are new in the live chat room, just introduce yourself, say hi to everyone, because we've got a really nice gang here. Nobody's going to gang up on anyone. Maybe gang's the wrong word. Community is probably a better word. So if this is your first live stream, then hello, welcome to it. And if you want to hit that thumbs up button, then you can do. It's always something that we aim for with these live streams. We try to get to 200 likes. So that is our target, and we always have a spike of the likes wherever possible. And it's almost 20 minutes past midnight here in the UK. So we're into the morning, technically into Wednesday, but if we can have a spike of the likes now, that would be great. If you haven't hit that thumbs up already, it would be massively appreciated, because it helps the channel to grow and these live streams to get out there as well. So we're going to be jumping into the next video of the night, and this is one of those that was requested last live stream and maybe before, so we've had a little bit of a rollover here, but Deborah also requested this over on Patreon, and is going to be my cover of the White Snake classic, Is This Love? And I hope you guys enjoy it. We will be trying to keep to a strict timeline throughout this live stream, even though that doesn't tend to happen and it does run on a little bit sometimes. And if we can avoid a gremlin, that's always great as well, but we will see what happens. Just before we jump into this video, Luan has donated $5, so thank you for that, Luan. And the message is, "Gotta go take care of the baby," with a smiley face and some horns. So thank you for that, Luan, and good luck going off to look after the baby. And we will maybe see you a little bit later on if it goes well, or maybe it's something that's going to take a lot of time. But thank you so much for that donation. And just quickly, Orlando has dived into the super chat window as well, and the donation is $10. Thank you so much for that. And the message is, Bob Kulick, a session drummer for Kiss in the late 1970s, passed away on May 28th. I recommend Head Over Heels by his band Skull from 1991. Check it out in his honor. So thank you for that, Orlando, the donation, but also for the message, and I'll definitely check that out after the live stream. And thank you for just bringing that up. It's Skull is the band that I will be looking out for. So this is the thing, so many top session players, session drummers, bassists, guitarists back in the day, in the 70s, 60s as well. I have spent a little bit of time talking about session musicians on the channel, but there were so many that did a great job, and Bob sadly seems like unfortunately has left us on May the 28th. But thank you, Orlando, for pointing that out and for that message and the donation as well. But we will be moving into this next video. This is going to be my version of Is This Love by Whitesnake. I hope you guys enjoy it. I will be in the live chat room while this is playing, and I'll see you guys after. Rock.
You go alone. It's times like these I can't make it on my own. Wasted days, me sleepless nights, and I can't wait to see you again. I find to spend my time waiting on your call. How can I tell you, babe, my back's against the wall? By my side just to tell me it's alright, 'cause I don't think I can take anymore. Is this love that I'm feeling? Is this a love that I've been searching for? Is this love, or am I dreaming? This must be love, 'cause it's really stronger day by day, and I can't wait to see you again, so I can hold you in my arms. Is this love that I'm feeling? Is this the love that I've been searching for? Is this love, or am I dreaming? This must be love, 'cause it's really
And there we have it. That was my cover of Is This Love, and hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. Whenever I watch that video back, there's only one camera off to the side that actually picked up the smoke that I was letting into the room. And I don't know why the camera at the front didn't pick it up, because I thought it looked really cool when I eventually edited it together, but maybe it was because it was a higher quality camera that it didn't pick up all of the smoke that was in the room. So, bit of a disappointment when I edited that together, but you can see from the side-on shot that there's a little bit of smoke going on, that I was letting it into the room, but it just backfired a bit. But anyway, it's something that I'm just going to have to live with, but I think it was something that I got away with, never mind. But we will see what's happened in the super chat room. So we've had a little bit of action in there, so thank you guys for that. And I am just going to have to scroll up a little bit because there have been a few, so thank you guys so much for that. It is Lynn who has donated $50. Thank you so much for that, Lynn. The message is, while the world is so scary and factionalized, thanks for making a space where we can be excellent to each other. So thank you for that, Lynn. And yes, unfortunately the world is a bit of a strange place at the moment, with so many things happening all at the same time. It all just has kicked off around the same time, and then we've still got this coronavirus thing that, fortunately, hopefully, fingers crossed, in the UK things are starting to improve, but you never know, because obviously with protesting and all that kind of stuff that's going on, people are gathering together in large groups, which is exactly what the virus wants people to do in order to spread. So fingers crossed we are over the worst of it here in the UK, and I hope that's the same for where you guys are, wherever you are. But I know that some places are hit a lot worse than others, but hopefully it will just get back to normal in the future, or at least the new normal, as it will probably be for as long as this coronavirus is around and there isn't a vaccine yet. But fingers crossed they can come up with one of those. Thank you, Lynn, for that donation. We have had another donation from Orlando. Thank you for that. It's for $2. And the message is, Bob Kulick was a guitarist, not drummer. Sorry. So thank you for that, Orlando, and for making sure that everybody knew. And it's something that I didn't know, obviously, from when I was reading out that first message. But thank you for clearing that up, Orlando. And Kevin has donated $5. Thank you for that, Kevin. The message is, did you use Inhalare La Voce, or La Voice, on Lay It on the Line? So no, I didn't use it on Lay It on the Line. That was just my chest voice, probably mostly mixed voice and head voice, because there's some high stuff in there. I think with that song, it's such a range that Rick has that just trying to do a cover of it is near impossible. You really do have to work it for your own range in order to be able to span the same number of notes. So that is something that was a struggle, but hopefully, fingers crossed, I got away with it. But no, I didn't use that technique on that song. But thank you, Kevin, for that $5 donation. And I'm going to have to scroll down for this, and it's taken me right to the bottom of the page. But Orlando donated again $5. Thank you for that, Orlando. The message is, G-Baby equals grandbaby. I did not catch at first either, with a laughing face. So G-Baby is something that I've never heard before, or grandbaby. Here we say grandchild, so we don't call it necessarily a baby when the baby is a baby, it's still a grandchild. So yes, not something that I've heard before, but thank you for cleaning that up as well, Orlando, making it clear. Also, I don't think I've seen any moderators in the live chat room tonight, but just in case there are some in there, thank you guys for the job you do, or if you are watching this in the future, it is much appreciated. And I know that we have such a great community in the live chat room anyway, that you are also good at looking after each other. And the moderators, if they do come along, if they are in there, just, it is important as well to follow those guidelines that are over at wingsofpegasus.com. And in the live stream section of the website, just click on that, you'll see the guidelines, and also to treat the moderators with the utmost respect, because they do such a great job on these live streams. But we are going to move into the next part of the super chat, because we've had some more donations in there. Thank you for that. Jeannie has donated $5, and the message is, Phil, such a beautiful cover of Is This Love? And a Q, do you ever listen to Sirius Radio? There are several stations you'd like, Hair Nation, Really, With a Heart, and Rock. So thank you for that, Jeannie. And it's not something that I do a lot of, listening to the radio, because I think nowadays it might have been something that if I was traveling to places, I might have the radio on. And if we were traveling to a gig, we'd have the radio on as well. But nowadays, I'm just on the go all the time. So if I am doing anything, I'm pretty much concentrating. And the problem that I have is, if I'm listening to music, I want to properly listen to the music. So I want to listen to the guitars and the vocals, the harmony lines, all the things that I probably point out in the analysis videos. I'm listening out for all of that when I'm listening to the radio or listening to any song. So I can't really have it on in the background because I just want to get into the music. So I'm generally always doing something at the computer or answering comments or emails, and all of that kind of stuff. The admin side of things takes a lot of my concentration because it's not something that I really do naturally, and I have to concentrate when I'm doing it. So I don't listen to a lot of radio, unfortunately. But Jeannie, thank you for the heads up and for that donation as well. And Debbie has donated $4.99. Thank you for that, Debbie. The message is, everything you sing is awesome. So thank you for that, Debbie. And I'm especially, of course, with covers, just singing somebody else's song. So I can't really take any credit for that. I just hope that you enjoy my version of somebody else's awesome song. Thank you for that, Debbie. And Vince has donated $5. Thank you for that, Vince, again. And the message is, Phil, here's a question. Jennifer asked just now in the live chat, Phil, who is the hardest group to get song permission from? And this is something that at the moment, everybody, because if you're wanting to do a covers CD, I have mentioned before how for that you need to get the permission. You have to draw up a contract with the copyright owners in order to then release something that you're going to get paid for. When you do a cover on YouTube, it's different. It's a totally different scenario because YouTube are hosting that cover on their platform. Therefore, the copyright owners can put adverts on that video and they can make the revenue from those adverts instantly. So I'm not selling everything that I do on YouTube. It's free to access, but when people do access it, they have to watch a video in order to watch it, and the ad revenue from the video goes to the copyright holder. So I hope that makes sense. So it's something that at the moment, it's been a long time, well over a year. I'm losing count of where we are, but I haven't yet got any news on any of the songs that I want to put on a CD and then have available on my website. I haven't been contacted by any of the bands so far. So it's a very long process, and more often than not, unfortunately, the bands and the artists don't own their own songs. And that's why it takes so long, because it would be a case of just messaging the person who wrote the song on Twitter and say, oh, I've done a cover of your song. Can you please let me release it, or can we come up with an arrangement? And they'll say, well, I don't own it. The record label do and the publishing company do. And that is more often than not the case, especially with the very well-known bands who signed to big labels. They then signed over the rights to their music. So that's why it takes such a long time dealing with the music industry as a whole, because there are so many hoops that you have to jump through to do something which, if it was just person to person, you could organize within an evening. But anyway, thank you so much for that donation, Vince, and the question from Jennifer as well. So Carl has donated $2 again, and Carl has said to put towards something other than pizza. So thank you for that, Carl, and maybe I can put it towards another kind of fast food, maybe Chinese, which I have mentioned in the past, but maybe something totally different from Chinese, some orange squash. We will put it in the orange squash fund. So thank you for that, Carl. And Jason has donated $2 as well, and the message is working class lives matter. So thank you for that, Jason. And this is something that, interestingly, in the UK, I did see a show where they break down statistics, and obviously all of this stuff is going to be focused on with the current times and the protests and everything, and it was found that working class children and adults actually were the worst performing statistically for jobs and so many different things, housing, education. So those were the lowest of the list, because I know that looking at stats, everyone is really putting the focus on the Black Lives Matter and the people in this country who are black and the opportunities that they get and they might not get. But it was at the bottom of the list, unfortunately, working class people, and it was actually white people, believe it or not, that were bottom of the list here in the UK. So these are the stats that obviously are going to be focused on. But thank you, Jason. And with this whole thing, I've always been of the opinion that all lives matter. I know that it's not something that we want to spend time on the live stream, because we want to spend time on music and interacting and having a good time and forgetting about lots of the things going on in the world. But I think that really all lives matter. Obviously, racism is such a huge thing around the world, and it does differ from country to country in severity and history and all that kind of stuff, but not really the thing that we're going to get into on these live chat rooms and live super chats and having that topic. I'm sure there are lots of other YouTube channels that are covering it in depth with all the stats and everything else as well. But thank you, Jason, for that donation and the message. And Karen's in the house as well and has donated $5. Thank you for that. The message is, "Hi Phil, easy on the pizza or you'll turn into one. Laugh out loud with a smiley face. Your talent and insight is truly appreciated. Thanks for all you do. Cheers, Karen." So thank you for that, Karen. And I probably will turn into a pizza, or maybe something that is more rounded than a pizza. I don't know, maybe the whole pear shape. That's what people would describe themselves as. I'll turn into a pear from eating too much pizza. But thank you for that, Karen. And Franco is in the house as well and has donated $5. Thank you for that, Franco. The message is, "Phil, are you working on new original music? Would like to see you do instrumental." So thank you for that, and I can't see what that picture is at the end because it's too small, but thank you, Franco, for that. And with the original side of things, I'm pretty much always getting down riffs and ideas, but having the time to sit down and record things, I've got so many things on the go at the moment, with the new analysis video every day, with the research that goes into every one of those. Does take a while, and I am starting to play parts of the song as well, so I want to make sure that I do at least get the chords relatively accurate for people sitting at home playing along. So that takes a little bit of time, and it's also the admin and everything that I have to answer with emails. And I'm sure a lot of you can understand that having now, I think, over 138,000 subscribers. First of all, thank you everybody for hitting that like and subscribe button on the channel. It's massively appreciated. And with that amount of subscribers come a lot of messages and emails. So at the moment, because it's just me doing everything, I don't have a lot of time to do anything else, really. I'm just on the go 24/7. But hopefully in the future, if I can work a way that is possible to get help on the channel or to deal with some of the things that take a lot of time, then I can start to work on a little bit more music. But I mean, I don't really mind just getting down ideas and things, because I know that recording an album is a very long process. My first one took 6 months, so it's going to take a long time to put together because I do everything. So it means that sitting down, recording, and then mixing, producing, getting it all to sound how I want it to takes a long time. And yeah, it's something that I'm sure I'll get back to in the future. But at the moment, I'm just kind of riding the wave, see where we end up with these live streams and the analysis videos. And it might also be the fact that just by doing the analysis videos and interacting with not only you guys but other artists who I might have featured, it could lead to something really cool in the future, whether it be some kind of collaboration or working on original material together. Anything's possible, so we will see what happens in the future. But thank you, Franco, for that donation. And we have a donation from Frankie, who has donated $4.99. Thank you for that. And it's the guy exercising saying, "Keep it up." So thank you for that, Frankie. And Linda has donated again. The message is, and this is $5. Thank you for that, Linda. The message is, just when I was going to show my son your guitar solo during the Aha video, it was gone. Very disappointing. Will we ever be able to see that again? So thank you for that, Linda. This is the massive problem we've had with Aha, and I think they're probably one of the bands that have been most featured because of the amount of blocks that have happened. And whenever a video is blocked, I try and upload it the next night and edit it so that at least that band or that request to be analysed is on the channel in some way, shape or form. But unfortunately it was blocked, and then I played all of the guitar parts, added some other guitar parts in myself, played a guitar solo over it, and then that was blocked again. So I don't know, maybe I can upload just my playing with this song in the background. I think it might have been the case that the video is being blocked just as much as the audio, but I know that the audio is now another original recreation of what would have been blocked with the original audio. So I think it might be the video that is being blocked. So maybe in the future I can just it's going to look a bit narcissistic, but I can have myself looking at myself playing the guitar parts and the lead guitar solo at the end, and then we can say, and there we have it, and it's just me having played it. So it might be an entertaining video. I might do another intro just to explain to people that are watching that for the first time what has happened and that I can't actually show the video anymore. So I'll try and upload that in the future, maybe next week sometime, or give a little bit of a break from Aha for a week or two, but we will see. Thank you, Linda, for that donation. And Orlando has donated $5 again. Thank you for that, Orlando. And the message is, why can't songwriters own their songs? Do they sell out? Question from Jennifer's son. So thank you for that, Orlando, and for that question, Jennifer. I think the problem is it's different with everybody. Obviously, it depends what you want to do with your music and what you're chasing. I always say that for me personally, I'm not into signing a record deal and being, well, known all over the world and making millions and having a big house and having a fast car. I'm quite happy just earning enough money to live. And if I can do that from my music, then great. That's all I really aim for. But obviously there are people that want to be really big and famous, and there's nothing wrong with that. But that comes at a price, that you have to then sign things that you own over to the company that want to make you famous or want to make money from you. So they'll stick your picture all over the billboards and you'll become famous. But then once the time in the sunshine has gone, and obviously you have to make hay while the sun shines, and while the sun is shining, great, but once it stops shining and you're not in the limelight anymore, the record label effectively are always in the sunshine because they own everything. So if your songs are still getting played on the radio in 20 years' time, they're still making money from that, whereas you've had 20 years of not making anything. So it is different for every artist. I always say try and stay independent, don't sign a record deal, but people just, for some reason, don't understand the industry, or they get a bit mesmerized or hypnotized by the fame thing. And unfortunately, the fame thing doesn't make you any money. You might be well known, but it doesn't mean that you're getting paid every time somebody recognizes you, but you are getting paid if you own your songs every time you hear yourself on the radio. So two totally different things between fame and owning your original material. But thank you for that, Orlando. And King Nero's in the house and has donated $5. Thank you for that. The message is, you Tom Petty cover was great. Wondering if you could do another soon. So thank you for that. And same thing really with the covers. At the moment, I don't have the time to stick those together. So it won't be something that I can do immediately or imminently, but maybe it is something that I can get back to in the future. I know that I have had a lot of requests for future cover songs, so it's something that I can do in the future, time permitting. Obviously, me doing everything on the channel and everything with my music and sending off CDs. Obviously at the moment my post office still isn't open because of the coronavirus, so I've got lots of CDs that I'm making up and going to have to send out at some point. I think I'm going to have to break it up to different trips to the post office because there have been a lot of orders, but I do all of that as well and sign the CDs and organize everything myself. So there's quite a lot to do every day, but in the future hopefully I can get back to doing some covers. But thank you for that, King Nero. Odyssey of Ascension has donated $50. Thank you so much for that. The message is, no excuse, get an assistant fund, get into the studio and create that authentic passion that brought us all. Heart, rose, and some rock chords. So thank you for that. And this is the thing, that an assistant fund, like I've said, getting an assistant, we're now talking about giving somebody a full-time wage. And that is a lot of money if you're talking, I don't know what it would be in dollars, but it's about £20,000 here to employ somebody for a year, roughly. I guess that's about $30,000, maybe something around that ballpark, because it is a full-time job and they would have to do it every day for every hour of every day. So I'm not sure many people would sign up for that. So at the moment, because it's me doing it, I don't mind doing it myself because it's all for me. So, but asking somebody to do, well, a 24/7 job would probably be a little bit too much. So I'm gonna have to work out a way that I do it. Maybe they just do weekends or something, or maybe a few days a week, in which case it'll be maybe a little bit less money, but still maybe talking about 12 or 15 grand a year. So yeah, unfortunately, an assistant fund, we can start one. It might take a little bit of time to get up to where we need to be in order to have the free time, but you never know, anything is possible in the future with all of your support as well. Thank you guys so much on Patreon, the people at the bottom of the screen, but also you guys in the super chat window, because you have allowed me to do a new video every single night, which I wouldn't have been able to do before with my teaching schedule. And I have been able to really reduce the teaching, and I haven't been teaching obviously because of coronavirus, but before that I was able to do a lot more as well. So thank you guys so much for that support and all of the support on these live streams. And thank you, Odyssey of Ascension, for that donation. Karaoke Closet has donated $2.99, and the message is, own your own master tapes, with a wink and a thumbs up. And thank you for that. The problem with that is master tapes means you've got a physical copy of your song, but having the publishing rights to your songs is a different thing. And everybody, I think, understands what a master tape is, of just having your song on a master tape, and you can give that to anybody that you want. But say, for example, hypothetically, I could have my master tape and I could go to a radio station and I could give them my master tape. That gets played on the radio and the publishing company picks up the royalty for that song because the sound of it is owned by the publishing company. The physical copy of the tape, even though I own that tape, I don't own the sound of what's on that tape. So it is a very complicated situation with the rights and owning your own rights, and publishing companies owning the rights to the songs that you write. But if you just maintain the rights to your own music and the sound of it and the publishing rights to it, then that is pretty much what you want to aim for. But thank you, Karaoke Closet, for that donation of $2.99. So just before I forget, we are trying to get to 200 likes in this live stream. So if you haven't hit that thumbs up yet, it would be massively appreciated, because it helps this live stream to get out there. And also it will help us to reach that target for tonight's live stream. It looks like somehow it's 10 to 1 in the morning here already. And I said that I was going to really motor on through the videos, which I haven't been doing. It is because of you guys and all of your support in the super chat window. Thank you so much for that. We are going to be jumping into the next video, and if we could give a spike of the likes, that'd be massively appreciated. By the way, the Spike the Likes mug and the t-shirts, anything that you want to get Wings of Pegasus related, can be found in the tray underneath this video. And there are hoodies there are t-shirts, so you can totally kit yourself out with Wings of Pegasus merchandise if you want to, like Ray has, who I showed last live stream and the live stream before, using Wings of Pegasus t-shirt as a new cool headdress. So thank you so much for buying all of that merchandise, everybody, but Ray as well for just maxing out on everything, and that can all be found underneath this video. But let's jump into the next video. This is going to be the lyric video version of Hero, one of my songs available on my album Persistence. This was requested by Teresa over on Patreon, so I'll see you guys after this. Rock!
I was minutes away when I got the call, and the names don't matter. Everybody's the same. Trust in me, I'm on my way. Sit tight, I won't let you down, 'cause I know you're alive. Guilty eternal, come to save the day. Desire in his eyes to never know the day. Society, the road in front of me. Inside they were screaming, they were burning. Can't you hear them pray? See me, Father, I'm on my way. Jumping red lights, 3 blocks away. Guilty eternal, come to save the day. Desire in his eyes to never know the
And there we have it. That was my song called Hero, and there is a bit of a slow fade out on that, so I probably interrupted it there. If you've got it loud, turned up to 11, then you would have heard that slow fade out. But I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Thank you for requesting that, Teresa, over on Patreon. And we have had a little bit of action. I can see stuff going on the screen in that super chat window. So let me have a look here. Denise has donated $5. Thank you for that, Denise. And the message is, Harlem Globetrotters, why can't we be friends? All lives matter. So thank you for that, Denise. And it is something that we touched on earlier in the live stream, and something that I've said before about the racism thing and the whole getting on. We are the human race, and I think a lot of people just miss that point, that we are the same race. So it's almost nonsensical to be racist, because you can't really be racist. I think it's, obviously we all know what the word means, but it doesn't even make sense as a fundamental approach to what the word is. So yeah, unfortunately that's the word that is used, but yes, we're all the same. And the other thing is, I don't want to make this about this, but talking about the human race, so many humans have adapted. We're all the same race, but different people, depending on where you lived in the world, your body adapts to whether it's really hot, whether it's really cold. What colour your skin is predetermined by your own body. It's exactly the same thing. If you go on a holiday, I think is it melanin or something that the body produces to make the skin darker to protect you from the rays of the sun. So it's doesn't make it just, well, as you can tell, it doesn't make sense to me, because it's something that the body does to adapt. It's nothing to do with being in a different race. But anyway, as I said, we're not going to be talking about that. It's something that other people will be able to talk about a lot better than I can. But thank you, Denise, for that donation. And Lucy as well has donated $24.99. Thank you so much for that, Lucy. And the message is, just got here, howdy Phil and fellow wingers, for the usual Cross the Pond Fund and Family Norway Trip Fund with rock horns, a heart, and some peace fingers as well, or the peace hand gesture. So thank you for that, Lucy. And Lucy also says, stay safe, everyone. So thank you for that donation, Lucy, and for the kind words to everybody in the live chat room. And I'm sure that is replicated from the live chat room back to you, Lucy. And Joan has donated $49.99. Thank you so much for that, Joan. And the message is, the Hard Drive Fund, we appreciate all your hard work, but get enough rest. So thank you for that, Joan. And yes, I do get enough rest. I sometimes go to bed very late, but without teaching, having to do that the next day, it means that I can still sleep for a normal amount of time, or at least what I consider normal. Anything over 6 hours is great, it's fine. Any longer, and I think it's a bit of a bonus, but there are things to do and other things to set up. So I try to maybe have between 6 and 8 hours. That's something that I do get every night. So even though I might be staying up really late, I can then get up really late, or late in the morning, maybe early afternoon, because I do make sure that I do get enough sleep, because if I don't get enough sleep, it starts to catch up on me and then things go downhill. But I want to still be able to create a new video every single day. We've been going for over 2 years now, every night. So if I just keep in the same groove, it'll be fine. But thank you so much for that, Joan. And we are going to be playing the final video of the night. It is 1 a.m. here now. So let's see if we can get a spike of the likes, because it looks like we are only 5 away from 200. So we're looking for 5 people in the live chat room who haven't hit that thumbs up yet. Is that you? It might be. So if you could hit that thumbs up, it would be massively appreciated. It's almost 1 a.m., 59 minutes. So let's see if we can try and get 5 people to hit that thumbs up at 1 a.m. on this live stream. It would be massively appreciated. It does help this live stream, but the whole channel and these live streams to get out there as well. Just something to mention about the live streams. If you are watching this in the future, it's 1 a.m. here, Greenwich Mean Time in the UK. So if you check your clock and it doesn't work out that it's 1 a.m. in the UK, then you're going to be watching this on catch up. It's not live. Obviously it seems live, but it isn't live. So if you do make a comment, it won't show on the screen. So I just want to jump into the super chat window because something crazy's gone on in there. We've had another donation from Jeannie. Thank you so much for that. It's a $3 donation, and the message is, can you analyze Spinal Tap's The Sun Never Sweats? So thank you for that, Jeannie. And it is something that would be an entertaining analysis video, and Spinal Tap are here somewhere. And it would be great to do just a whole segment on Spinal Tap because it's just great. And some of the songs actually are hooky. You know, they are songs that you repeat and you walk around singing them and then you realize which song you're actually singing. So it would be interesting to do. But thank you for that suggestion, Jeannie. And Mario is in the house. So everybody say hello to Mario. That's what we do in these live streams. And we can't quite see Mario's guitars in the background today, unfortunately, but there is a gem and a Maton guitar in the background that belong to Mario, and he sent those to me. So thank you so much for that, Mario. Everybody say a big hello. And Mario has donated $200. So thank you so much for that, Mario. A crazy donation. And the message is, happy live stream Sunday /Saturday, Phil. Having a rockin' good time. So thank you for the kind words, Mario, and for that donation. And with that, we are going to launch into Paris Nord, the acoustic version of it. This was requested over on Patreon by Orlando and Susan and Lucy, I think. So thank you guys. It might have been Sally that also requested it. I know that it got requested a few times. So Paris Nord, the acoustic version of it with me singing with myself. I think I explained this before the video starts. So we'll jump into it. And thank you guys for requesting this one. I'll see you guys afterwards. Rock.
Hello, Phil here, obviously. This is going to be my acoustic version of one of my album tracks called Paris Nord. And I'm going to film another bit after this and edit it in so that I can sing the other part of the chorus with myself.
If I had known, if I had known for just one moment you'd be gone. It's not okay, we want to know. Lost in your eyes, Paris night skies, both hypnotized. Find a way to find your way, spend the night with you in Paris Nord. It's so unfair, you left me there. You took the 935 from Paris Nord. In a heartbeat, you were gone. Like ships in the night, love at first sight, holding you tight. Find a way to find your way, spend the night with you in Paris Nord. It's so unfair, you left me there. You took the 935 from Paris Nord. Left with just her aroma from our standstill adventure. Now I'm stuck in a world of regret. And it's 9:35. I'm not happy, but I feel alive. So much I wanted to say, but now it's too late.
you have it. That was my song called Paris Nord, and the acoustic version of it, of course. And I think in the future at some point I'm going to have to do a lyric video for some of the other songs from the album, so that we can have not only Paris Nord, but the album version of Amelia, which doesn't get played a lot, but there is an acoustic version that I do play on these live streams now and again. But thank you so much for all of the requests for Paris Nord, and all of you that I mentioned before, but I know there were others as well. So let's get the super chat window up on screen, because we've had another donation from Orlando. So thank you for that, Orlando. That's for $20. The message is: Fantasy Records filed suit against John Fogerty in 1994 over John's The Old Man Down the Road, which borrowed the music from Run Through the Jungle by Creedence Clearwater Revival. The problem for Fantasy: John wrote both songs. Fantasy lost. So thank you for that message, Orlando. And I think part of the lawsuit was that it sounded too much like Creedence Clearwater Revival, but that was John. So it's a bit stupid, because they're saying that John's new project sounds too much like the previous project, which was him singing, and now him singing sounds too much like what he did with us. And that gives you an idea of the music industry as a whole. They will try and claim anything, to the point where they say that somebody who sang with a band now is doing a solo project and they sound too much like when they sang in the band. It's absolutely crazy, but thank you, Orlando, for mentioning that and the donation. And the extra donation we had underneath that is Abby. I'm just making sure that I haven't missed anybody out. That was for $9.99. Thank you for that, Abby. The message is: we're sharing the planet with lots of alien races too, laugh out loud, but we're still all one great creation made of music. So thank you for that, Abby. And the alien races, I'm not sure what you would call the other animals. This is where my whole history of nature and everything is non-existent, really, so I don't really know a lot about the natural world. I am interested in space and all that kind of stuff, but getting into the whole nature side of things, I don't know about alien races on the planet. I always thought that aliens were not of this earth, but maybe I've got that wrong. And I know that the unidentified flying object, the UFO, isn't necessarily an alien. It's just something that you see that you don't know what it is when it's flying in the air. Because I always thought when I was younger that UFO meant an alien, but it just means something that's flying in the air that you can't identify, because that's what it's called, unidentified flying object. But anyway, thank you for that, Abby. And we are going to be calling it to a close pretty soon, because it's already 1:10 in the morning here. So thank you everybody for joining me tonight and for hitting that thumbs up. By the way, you can still hit that thumbs up if you want to. And also, if you do want to join back with that Facebook group, the Wings of Pegasus supporters group, if you type that into Facebook, you should be able to make it to the page. It should still show up, but unfortunately the hackers group name that they changed it to, or he changed it to, or she changed it to, we don't know who it was, but it's still there. But hopefully Facebook can sort that out soon. It won't show up when you join that group. Nobody can see that group name and see that you're part of that group. So thank you to Vince for clearing that up. And Vince does host the after party after these live streams over on Facebook, so you can go over to that Wings of Pegasus supporters group and join in with the after party that Vince hosts over there. But thank you guys so much for all of the support tonight on the live stream, in the super chat window. All of you guys in the live chat room, let's have a little look in there. We have Susan and Dennis, who are still in the house, and Teacherman 1955, Denise, Michael, King Nero, Carl, Jeannie, L. Arthur, Helen, Kevin, Lynn, Karaoke Closet, Lucy's still in there, and Karen, and Mario's still in there as well, and Jennifer and Teresa. So thank you guys for joining me tonight, and I will be live streaming again, same time, same place, Tuesday night. There's going to be another analysis video, of course, tomorrow night and on Monday night as well. So I'm always in the comment section of the YouTube analysis videos, so I will see you in there if I don't see you at the next live stream. And everybody, just stay as safe as you can. We've still got this coronavirus thing, so just isolate as much as you can and keep the social distancing all over the place. And now here in the UK, we have to wear a mask on public transport, and I think just wearing a mask is a good idea, even though to begin with they said it wouldn't make any difference, but now everyone's wearing masks. So if you've got the option to do that, then it's probably a good move. But everybody stay safe, and I will see you at the same time, same place, live on Tuesday night and in the comment section of all the videos here on YouTube. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I will catch you guys later. Rock!